I get a feeling it's going to be a riot.
I don't read the newspapers because they all have ugly friends.
At the starting of the week, at Summit Talks, you'll hear them speak. It's only Monday. Negotiations breaking down. See the leaders start to frown. It's more than Monday.
We are back with another edition of your favorite morning show, The Daily Dose on the Guerrilla Radio Network.
We'll be sitting, taking lunch. The news will hit you like a punch. It's only Tuesday.
But Saturday,
Ask your doctor if the Daily Dose is right for you. Common side effects include sarcasm, informed opinions, and wondering how the hell these people got elected. The Daily Dose starts now.
but Saturday.
Tomorrow never comes until it's too late. Tomorrow never comes until it's
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Monday, July 13th, 2026. And it is time for the first of the week version of the Daily Dose, which comes to you every Monday through Friday live from downtown, beautiful Palm Harbor, Florida. Hopefully everyone had a great weekend. I know I did. I relaxed yesterday, which is nice. I don't get a chance to do that very often with my crazy hectic schedule. So it's nice just being able to hang out and not do anything, sit on the back porch, maybe have a Miller Lite or two, and just relax and not have to worry about anything. But it is damn hot, though. Jesus Christ, have mercy on my soul. For the love of Jesus. Holy Jesus.
Holy Jesus.
It is hot as Hades. Is that what the kids are saying these days? It's hot as Hades. I think they are. I don't know. I could be making that up, but these kids, they say crazy stuff. But I think hot as Hades is absolutely one of the terms that they use quite a bit. Without any further delay, since we're talking about it being as hot as Hades and this Florida heat, let's go ahead and start off our week with the Monday weather report from the great Dave Osterberg. This is coming to you live from Palm Harbor, Florida, so this may or may not apply to your certain demographic.
79 degrees here in the Tampa area. I'm just happy we're below 80. It's probably because of the rain that we had last night, right? 76 degrees in Brandon, some 80s though, St. Pete, Sarasota, both sitting in the lower 80s. Of course, mid 80s over the Keys and 82 degrees in Miami. But, temperature-wise, not too bad around the state this morning. A lot of mid to upper 70s. Winds, again, are relatively light, and they're going to come on shore again from the afternoon on for a bit. So our dew points are sky high with 75 to 77 degree dew points. So it just feels very stuffy outside for you. We're going to start the day with a little bit of cloud cover kind of mixing in. There's a front to the north. Now, this front is slowly going to kind of drift. It's the best way to call it, drift southward. And what it'll tend to do is tend to kind of spark off some showers and some thunderstorms. You can kind of see a line trying to develop out ahead of that. Well, as this front slowly slides southward, that line will start to kind of slide southward as well. So it stands to reason we get a halfway decent little 40% rain chance for today. But after today, more of this Saharan dust just comes floating in, and it starts to really lower the rain chances again. So for Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday, our rain chances are going to drop down to 20 to 30%. And the thing about that is, keep in mind, we're in the middle of July now. We're solidly into this rainy season. We should be cranking out 60% rain chances every day. And we're struggling with these 20 to 30% for tomorrow. So look forward to today. Some showers kind of rolling through the Tampa Bay area mid to late afternoon. Look forward to that. And then tomorrow, look what this drier air does. See, 1 or 2 storms, that's about it. And you go into Wednesday, 1 or 2 storms, and that's about it again. So I'm hoping we can squeeze out some decent shower chances today, because then they lower for the rest of the week. Hot, humid, 93 degrees. It will feel, at least briefly, like 100 to 102 with some of those storms around this afternoon. Then warm and steamy tonight as our low drops down to 80 degrees. And then another big steam bath tomorrow with 1 or 2 isolated storms and your highs in the mid-90s. So again, 60% is where we should be rainfall-wise. But, Mariah, Tuesday through Friday, it's 20 to 30% rain chances.
It rained like crazy. What day was it? Saturday, I believe it was, down here in Florida. And it was like almost like hurricane force winds coming in. Where I work, it's up on the water, and you could look out. It's a beautiful landscape where I work, and you look out the windows, and we're sitting right on the bay. And good Lord, it looked like a hurricane was rolling in. I mean, the waves were crashing up against the side of the building. The trees were bending, and then when I got home that night, it was dark, so I didn't see the roads. I couldn't see the roads, with perfect visibility in my neighborhood. I got up the next morning, and I guess it was Friday actually, because I went to work on Saturday morning, and man, there was just debris, like tree limbs down in my neighborhood and debris all over. It looked like the aftermath of one of the hurricanes that came through. So there was some really tough wind and rain that happened over here in Palm Harbor over the weekend, and it definitely did cool things down a little bit, though. It's not quite as disgusting as it has been, but it's still hot, though. The worst part about heat, I'm a Florida guy, obviously, born and raised, and I don't wear shoes. I wear sandals everywhere I go. If I go to the store, I've got on sandals and shorts. If I go to anything, if I go to a wedding, I wear sandals. You know what I mean? That's just how I am. I own 1 pair of shoes, and I own like 7 pairs of sandals, and I just kind of alternate them based on my preference for the day. And I took the dog for a walk this morning, and the bottom of my feet were sweating from the humidity out there. That's disgusting. When the bottom of your feet sweat and they slide around on your sandals, that's absolutely disgusting. So that's what we're dealing with down here right now. And it's getting a little bit better, but it's still hot. But speaking of heat, this has absolutely nothing to do with heat whatsoever. There's apparently explosive diarrhea all over the country at this point. And this story has been kind of progressing over the course of the last few days, and I didn't think it was important enough to talk about, nor did I care to talk about it. But now there's more and more reports of this explosive diarrhea from this parasite that they're finding in, I guess, produce is where it's started. And it's just going around from person to person. And there's confirmed cases of this parasitic predator all over the country right now, and it's absolutely spreading to Florida. So we're getting it down here as well. It's well, here you go. I'll go ahead and play the story, and you can listen for yourselves.
The FDA is working this morning to trace the source of a foodborne stomach parasite. Cyclospora is a parasite the CDC started optionally reporting back in 2025 as directed by the Trump administration. As Jonathan Siri reports, previous outbreaks were linked to foods like salad, green onion, and blueberries.
Public health officials are investigating a surge in cases of severe intestinal disease. It's caused by a microscopic parasite called Cyclospora. Symptoms are similar to other stomach bugs, but tend to linger.
Watery diarrhea, cramping, bloating, fatigue, nausea, sometimes vomiting, and it can last for days to weeks if it goes untreated. So symptoms can also come and go, which can make people think that they're actually getting better, and then they suddenly feel sick again.
Last year, the CDC made Cyclospora data reporting optional. It says to allow food safety staff to prioritize core activities. The agency is now confirming infections in 31 states. The highest numbers are in Michigan, where today state health officials report more than 1,500 total cases, a stark increase from about 50 cases last year.
So this is a huge outbreak in Michigan, across Illinois, Ohio, and into upstate New York. That's where the belt of this is.
Federal health officials say there is currently no evidence linking all the cases to a single source. Instead, they're looking for multiple causes of infection, which spreads through contaminated water or food.
I blame Joe Biden at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I think it's his doing, and I think he's conspiring with Iran to poison the American people because he cheated in that election and got all the votes. Thanks, Biden. So anyway, wash your vegetables, I guess, is what the biggest lesson that we're learning from this would be. Make sure that you don't eat vegetables directly from the dirt. Wash them out really well, because if you don't, you may get a parasite in your intestines and you may have explosive diarrhea that lasts for upwards of weeks, apparently, from what that guy just said on the CDC news clip that we just showed. So, yeah, be careful, because there's parasites out there causing diarrhea. Now, this story is kind of crazy. If I can get my mouse to work, there we go. Every now and again, it just freezes up for some reason. I don't know why. It's a pain in the ass, and I have to bang it against the desk and knock its batteries back into place, I guess. But this story is nuts. I guess this grandfather was out with his kids, and it's about a bison that attacked. It's all over the news this morning, and it's absolutely worthy of mentioning today on this show, because the video footage of this is out. It's out of control. This guy gets a bison horn right up his arse, and he gets flipped into the air about 8 feet up. And we've got video footage of it to show you right here on the Guerrilla Radio Network on your daily dose.
Now to the frightening scene at Yellowstone National Park. A grandfather out on a walk with his grandson was attacked by a charging bison and thrown at least 8 feet into the air. He was injured but is expected to be okay. ABC's Melissa Dunn has the latest.
Tonight, these are the heart-stopping moments a grandfather was attacked by a bison at Yellowstone National Park. The dramatic video posted online by a professional photographer shows a bison, which can weigh more than 1,500 pounds, charging after the 65-year-old, flipping him into the air. You see the man and his grandchild stop to take photos of the bison. Seconds later, the massive mammal then charges, chasing the family around trees before the man is thrown multiple feet into the air, seriously injuring him.
Bison! Look out, bison!
Another video shows the bison running past tents at a campsite before the incident. The grandfather is lucky to be alive. Millions of people visit Yellowstone every year to see the park's famous wildlife. Unfortunately, this is not the first time we've seen bison charging tourists.
As for that 65-year-old, he was hospitalized and is recovering from his injuries. Yellowstone National Park warns people to keep at least 25 yards away from bison at all times, and if too close, you are warned to retreat immediately.
That is nuts. That guy he got flipped 8 feet in the air, and it looks like it's computer generated, like it's AI, but it's not. That's real. That bison stuck its horn right up that guy's asshole and flipped him, and he went flying 8 feet in the air. I guess the bison in the Yellowstone don't care too much for the paparazzi. They're like Sean Penn back in the late 80s when he was punching all the photographers in the face when they were taking pictures of him. Those bison are somehow, some way related to Sean Penn. Maybe Sean Penn's bloodline is reincarnated in these bison, and they get rather aggressive when you take your camera out and you take pictures of them. They just want to live a private life. They don't want to be all over the internet. You know what I mean? They just do what they do, and then when you interrupt their solitude, that's what you get. You get a horn right up your asshole, and you get flipped 8 feet in the air. So yeah, that story is that video. The story is not crazy. The video and how crystal clear the images of that. I don't know what I would do if I'm getting charged by a 1,500-pound bison and it's running after me. I was reading earlier that the bison can run 3 times faster than a human. So even if you're Usain Bolt and you're running at top speed, that bison is probably still 2.5 times faster than that guy. And that's one time was the fastest man in the world, if he's still not. So yeah, that bison's he's gonna catch you no matter what. You can't get away. That thing it's angry. It doesn't like being on camera for whatever reason. And he's got horns that he's going to shove right up your asshole if you try to take a picture of it. So that's my public service announcement for today. If you're in Yellowstone National Park, stay away from the bison. And if you have to go near them for whatever reason, please, for the love of God and everything holy, do not try to take a picture of it, because they are very camera shy and they get angry when they take pictures. We've got a couple of deaths in the news today. We can go ahead and cover those right now, and then we're going to have a little bit of sporting news directly after that, a couple of sports stories. But Lindsey Graham, Senator Lindsey Graham, dead at 71. This guy's been around forever. His name is synonymous with the government of the United States. Some people love him, others hate him, and they all have their reasons why. on both sides. But nonetheless, it was a tragic loss because it was very unexpected and it came out of nowhere. He was perfectly fine on Saturday or Friday, whatever day it was, and then Sunday morning he died. Apparently, he had his aorta tore in his heart, from what I understand.
All of us across South Carolina are shocked today. No one saw this happening.
The political world stunned by the sudden death of Republican Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina.
To those who serve in the state legislature and in Congress today, he was our senior senator.
Condolences pouring in for Graham, not only from fellow Republicans, but also from Democrats.
It is hard to lose him.
And from world leaders.
Israel has lost one of the great champions of the American-Israeli alliance. And frankly, I've lost a beloved friend.
Graham died on Saturday just after returning from a visit to Ukraine. Citing preliminary findings from the Washington, D.C. Medical Examiner's Office, Graham's communications director released a statement saying he died following complications from cardiovascular disease. George Washington University professor of medicine and surgery, Dr. Jonathan Reiner, explains.
The innermost layer of the aorta is called the intima, and an aortic dissection is a tear in that innermost lining that allows blood to get into the actual wall of the artery.
Graham was up for re-election this year. Republicans must now find a candidate to replace him with a special primary on August 11th.
I hate hearing about stuff. That stuff kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies, when you hear about like stuff like the walls of the aortas ripping for no reason, and it just makes you think. It's wild that could happen. I know it could happen at any time to anyone out there, especially like if it's an undiagnosed problem that you're not being treated for on a regular basis, which apparently would be the case here. But it creeps me out when I hear stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's just like, ugh, it's terrible. So like I said, love the guy, hate the guy, whatever. Dead at 71. Lindsey Graham, dead as fuck. That's what it's going to say in his tombstone. We have another notable death in the news today, and this guy was not necessarily as well known as Lindsey Graham, but he was very well known. This guy, he was the star of the Jurassic Park movie. Sam Neill, dead as fuck.
To millions, he was Dr. Alan Grant.
It's a dinosaur.
The reluctant hero of Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park. Sam Neill, the actor who brought quiet gravity to some of the biggest films of his generation, has died. Born in Northern Ireland and raised in New Zealand, Neill's career spanned more than 50 years. He found his breakout role in the 1977 film Sleeping Dogs, but it wasn't until the 1990s when he became known worldwide.
Actually, I think I will need 2 wives. Oh, at least.
Starring alongside Sean Connery in The Hunt for Red October before landing the role that would define his career.
She was one of my favorite when I was a kid. Now I see she's the most beautiful thing I ever saw.
Reprising that role in Jurassic Park 3. And Jurassic World Dominion. He'd established himself as an actor with singular range, appearing in the critically acclaimed film The Piano.
I heard it here. I heard a voice there in my head.
And starring in the classic horror film In the Mouth of Madness. He took to the small screen too, appearing in The Tudors and Peaky Blinders. In 2023, he revealed he'd been treated for blood cancer, writing, "I'm not afraid to die, but it would annoy me." Earlier this year, Neill revealed that he was cancer-free after a groundbreaking treatment.
I was at a loss, and it looked like I was on the way out. There is no cancer in my body. That's an extraordinary thing.
Overnight, his family saying, Sam was surrounded by family and passed with the dignity that has characterized his whole life. The loss was sudden and unexpected, but blessed by the fact that Sam remained cancer-free.
We'll see what happened. You know what I mean? It obviously wasn't cancer that got him, but it was something. So I guess we'll learn more about that as the days and the weeks progress moving on. But yeah, so Sam Neill, 78, dead as fuck. Lindsey Graham, 71, dead as fuck. That's my dead as fuck report for the day. And every time a celebrity or a public official or anyone that's in the public eye passes, we will do a dead as fuck segment highlighting them and talking about them. Just like Charlie Kirk, he was dead as fuck. Sam Neill is dead as fuck. And so is Lindsey Graham, dead as fuck. Now, in sporting news.
spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat.
Well, you had some stories happen over the weekend. I don't have any footage of this one, but obviously the big sporting story of the weekend is the UFC fight that just took place on Saturday. I would say arguably probably one of the most anticipated returns to the octagon would have been Conor McGregor. And after, I believe it was 4 years of retirement, he came back and he jumped in the ring. He looked good. He looked healthy, great shape, classic Conor McGregor style, jumping around and acting a fool in the ring. And beforehand, jumps in the ring with Holloway, I believe was his name. And 69 seconds into the first round, well, McGregor came out through a kick first. I mean, right off the rip, and slipped, fell right in his arse, and then got back up, threw another kick, slipped, fell in his arse, and couldn't get back up from that one at all. And then this Holloway guy jumped on top of him and just beat the shit out of him for the remainder of the fight, which lasted 69 seconds in its entirety. I would say it had to have been one of the most anticipated returns to the octagon that UFC has ever seen. And it ended very lacklustery, and it ended in a way that no one saw coming. I don't know if many people thought that Conor McGregor was going to win this fight. Maybe some did. Maybe some people bet the house on him or bet the farm on him. I believe the majority of the people thought that Conor McGregor was going to lose the fight. I know I did. But when the fight started, I thought it was going to last longer than 69 seconds. So apparently he's got some sort of an injury. And now there's reports circulating saying that he had told Dana White. Now, this is all speculation. These are all rumors. None of this is verified or true or proven yet. But there's rumors that he had told Dana White that he was not feeling like he would be able to perform that evening. And Dana White told him, it's too late to turn back now, man. So you got to go in there and do it. So now, again, that's just a rumor. None of that is verified, but I did hear that from a couple of different sources that are out there. And again, as with everything else, we'll see how this unfolds over the next few days. So, yep. I don't know if you bet on Conor McGregor. I don't know if you bet for him to lose in the second round or to win, or whatever your betting strategy would have been during that fight. But if you bet on anything aside from Conor McGregor losing in the first round, you probably lost some money over this weekend. And Vegas has got a big smile on their face as we speak. Now, in other sporting news, Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks have been sold, people. They've been sold.
Holy Jesus.
For a lot of money. A whole lot of motherfucking money.
We begin with breaking news. The Seattle Seahawks have found a new owner. Fox 13 sports anchor Lauren Helbrecht joins us to break down the record sale.
Frankie, the reigning Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks are set to be off the market. Vinod Khosla and his family are purchasing the Seahawks for a reported $9.612 billion, pending NFL league approval. Paul G. Allen's estate confirms the sale just over an hour ago. Vinod and the Khosla family purchase price sets a new NFL record and is the second highest sale in U.S. sports franchise history, just shy of the Lakers' $10 billion sale last year. Just over an hour ago is when the Paul G. Allen estate confirms this. Now, the Khosla family currently owns just over a 3% share of the San Francisco 49ers, but must divest. Vinod Khosla is a co-founder of Sun Microsystems and has a net worth around $14 billion, according to Forbes. His wife, Neeru, reportedly serving as the controlling owner for the Seahawks, where their son, Neil, will have a significant leadership role. The deal is subject to that NFL owner approval. Like I said, according to ESPN, the sale could be approved at a league meeting on August 26th. When confirmed, the Khosla family will become the fourth owners in the Seahawks' 51-year franchise history, Frankie.
How about that? That's a lot of money. $9 billion. I mean, this guy's worth only $14 billion. He's spending $9 billion of it by a football team, for God's sake. He's got a lot of faith in this franchise, and hopefully he gets a return on that investment, because Jesus Christ, I mean, he's spending literally 70% of his net worth in order to acquire this team. So, I mean, he's got to have a lot of faith in it. And I know it's a money-making machine. It's, you don't buy an NFL team without doing your due diligence, making sure that you can, recoup your investment that you make and when you purchase. But still, I mean, that's a scary acquisition. You know what I mean? If I took 70% of my net worth and put all $47 of it into, a sports franchise, I would hope that I would make back at least $52 on that investment. So yeah, you heard me. So 70% of my net worth totals about $42. And I would hope that, maybe $60 I'd like to get it on a return. That's a smart investment on my part. That's what I think. I think that's a really smart investment. So, maybe I'll invest. We'll see what happens. But you never know. You never know. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes you think but at the end of the day, you never know. I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about right now. This story is absolutely terrifying. And it's not terrifying in a way where you're going to lose sleep over it or you're going to have to sleep with the light on because, you see these horror stories, of home invasions. It's not that kind of story. And but it's a story that's going to make you wonder the next time you get on an airplane.
We've got new video this morning reportedly taken from inside an international flight. A man nearly sucked out of a dislodged window mid-flight, according to Greek media. Now, this video is circulating on social media and has not been independently verified by CBS News, but it does show the inside of the plane after the incident with the broken window and oxygen masks hanging from the ceiling. That frightening incident for that international traveler and everyone on board the Ryan aircraft who were traveling to Germany from Greece. Now, according to Reuters, other passengers were able to help pull that man back inside the plane. Officials with Ryanair say the window came loose shortly after takeoff, prompting the flight to turn around. The plane landed safely back at the airport, and that passenger was treated for injuries. We will continue to follow this story for any updates, including what may have caused that window to malfunction. Now, this incident is similar.
How about that? You know what I mean? That's when I said it's terrifying. I mean, it's absolutely terrifying. Of course, equipment fails, things malfunction, things break when they're not supposed to. But good Lord have mercy. I mean, I couldn't imagine getting on an airplane and then all of a sudden, because I like to sit by the window when I go on an airplane. My wife can't stand it. She has to sit in the inside seat because she doesn't like flying that much. I enjoy it. And so I'm always, the guy sitting next to the window. I like to look out the window. I like to look down and see the ground from 30,000 feet up and blah, 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 blah. I'm that guy. And so that would have been me if I'd have been sitting in that seat because I'm absolutely the window guy. And I couldn't imagine, sitting on a flight and, you're just relaxing on the plane. You just want to get to your destination and get your vacation started or get back to your home from your vacation, whatever the case may be, or your work trip. And next thing you know, the window just shatters next to you for no reason whatsoever. And you're flying, 550, 600 miles an hour up there at 30,000 feet. Those things cruise at. And, it's just the wind, it's like it's a vacuum at that point because you lose all cabin pressure and everything just gets sucked right out the window, including you at that point, apparently. So yeah, he wow, that's just crazy. That's definitely a story to tell the grandkids. That's for sure. I mean, that's woo. Yeah. Hey, listen, everybody. It has been a great show today. Great way to kick off Monday. We talked to sports news. We had bison sticking horns in people's assholes. We talked about the Dead as Fuck report, which is a new segment on the Daily Dose that just started today. And we're having a great time doing it, as we always do. Now, today is Monday, so we will have our regular Monday show live with Mike and Eric featuring Angel launching at 5 o'clock today. So if you're a fan of the show, please tune in and listen at 5 p.m. As always, you can follow us on all social media networks. Guerrilla Radio Network on Facebook, Guerrilla Radio 47 on Instagram, or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at OG Guerrilla Radio. And you can watch a show live and you'll get notifications as it broadcasts. Now, I'm playing a song that's a follow-up to The Devil Went Down to Georgia. And this is made by Thomas Mack. I don't know if you've ever heard of this gentleman, but he did a remake, and it's a follow-up of when Johnny won the fiddle fight with the devil. So enjoy this song. I love it. I think it's a great rendition. We'll see you guys at 5 o'clock today. This has been the Daily Dose on the Guerrilla Radio Network.
Well, Johnny said you got the honors there, King of Lies, and the devil played a note so rancid even the darkness cried. Belphegor and Abaddon grabbed their strings and they joined in, and they played a tune that burned and grew, and it sounded just like Satan. When the devil finished, Johnny's golden fiddle began to glow, and he snatched it up and struck it pure with his lightning bolt. All the devil's demons, they let out a wretched scream as they watched Johnny's fingers burning up them fiddle strings. When Johnny finished the devil's